we started very focused on the dogs. And what we've quickly learned is dogs are definitely like the heart and the foundation of our business. But unfortunately, I wish dogs had wallets, because then we would be able to like make a totally different business model. But in some capacity, we need to make sure like we can continue our business.
And the dogs are going to like it either way. You put a dog in a dog park, it doesn't matter, they're going to have fun. All right, welcome back to the Brewdat Podcast. I'm your host, Richie Tevlin, joined again by Evan Bloom. And today we have one of my best friends, Allison Mattiola, owner of the Boozy Mutt, the first indoor-outdoor dog bar in Philadelphia.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, welcome.
This is awesome.
Welcome,
I'm so
Allison.
excited to be here.
Yeah, so this is a little background. I'm best friends with your husband and actually lived with you guys when you guys were, kind of figuring out how to get this thing started. So I remember Sam telling me about this when, he kind of decided that this is something he wanted to do. He's a salesperson, so immediately my first reaction was like, yes, you guys need to do this. My second thought was, how the fuck are you guys going to do this? This seems like a great idea, but I don't know how to open a restaurant. You guys are not restaurant people with backgrounds on that.
Yeah.
So, can you give me a little, kind of your side of the story about, where this idea came from and then, how you got to where you're at now?
Can we also just take a second to reminisce on the fact that we were starting to talk about this, doing puzzles during COVID.
Yes.
Drinking far more than we probably should have been drinking every single day, which was a very interesting time in life. But no, so Sam and I, ever since we met, kind of always wanted to be entrepreneurs in some capacity. Honestly, I thought we were going to think of a really cool product to sell, not necessarily hospitality, but honestly, everything happens for a reason. I'm a big believer in that, and I know Sam is as well. And my brother and sister-in-law live in Florida. They had a English bulldog named Kevin that they used to take to a place called the Dog Bar, and they loved it. And we'd buy them gift cards to go there, and just thought it was such a cool idea. And so fast forward, we ended up getting our dog Buddha, who's named after where Sam and I started dating in Budapest. We were there for work, and we started taking him to one of the fields down by our house, and we would go there, bring a 6-pack. We started making friends with our dog, and we just realized that dogs could bring people together. I mean, that's even how we met our commercial real estate agent. Just his dog was there and hanging out, and because of that, we just started brainstorming one day saying how awesome would it be to have a dog bar in Philly? There's so many people with dogs, and unfortunately I love Philadelphia, but it's sometimes a little dirty in some places. And so to be able to have a spot that is clean, that the dogs are vetted to some capacity, and you get to bring all your friends and watch sports and The Bachelor or whatever it might be is kind of our dream come true. And so we made a PowerPoint, being our true corporate selves, realized that there was maybe some potential to also make some money, and kind of went from there, hiring consultants and everything.
Yeah, I mean, we talked to Nick last episode, and he's he was a nurse before he opened up Stones, and it's business owners, especially local business owners, they don't get into it knowing that they're going to start this local business. It's kind of the opportunity arises, and it just makes so much sense that there would be a business like this in Philadelphia. And it's the fact that there's not is kind of crazy. And then you guys are going to have first movers bias as being the first indoor-outdoor dog park, or dog bar, which is going to be really cool. So with that being said, what is a dog bar?
Great question. We still get this on Instagram. So a dog bar is just essentially a bar in which now you can bring your dog inside and let them off leash. So we will have a full cocktail, full beer menu, full food menu, which I would love to share more about, because I think that's what makes us really unique compared to similar concepts around the country like this. But glorified bar and restaurant that you can bring your dog to. We will also have a dog menu, which I think is really unique and special. Yeah. It should. And we had to think a lot about that, because dogs love food. So how do we create a menu for them in which they're not obsessing about the food or potentially getting overly anxious or overstimulated from seeing another dog eat food. But I think we kind of have that down too now. So.
I think, since you guys have done this, you guys have taken me to a dog bar, and, I got to experience, and like talking about the dogs being overstimulated, it's like, it was sensory overload for the humans. There's just so much going on, and like, you guys are going to have TVs, you guys are going to be playing sports, but like, I don't even know if I could pay attention to that. There's so much going on there. It's just like dog here, dog there. It's insane.
No, it really is. And like, honestly though, there's also kind of like a therapeutic thing about it. Like, if you don't have a dog, to see dogs playing and just like being so happy, it kind of...
You're so right about that. Now I live in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And I'm from Bucks County, and I have 3 dogs at home. And there is a specific coffee bar that is a dog-friendly coffee bar.
That's awesome.
And you just can go there and play with the dogs, and it's just like a nice pick-me-up, especially when I don't get to come home and see my dogs all the time.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so like that sort of concept is so nice and so needed, and that like...
And now you get to be drunk at that same place.
Yeah.
There you go. Add that to it.
And also, you bring up a good point. Like, we're kind of starting this new phrase, like, no dog, no problem. Like, you do not have to have a dog to come to the Boozy Mutt. It's focused around, like, dogs and the idea of dogs, but our menu and cocktails, beers are all very much catered towards people, and just, like, bringing people together and getting everyone great food that they like to eat, want to have more than once a week, and hang out and get to pet other people's dogs.
Yeah,
so.
I think, we talk about all the time here about, people are so passionate about brewing. It makes this industry special, but like beer doesn't even touch dogs. Like, people love dogs. Even everyone that doesn't have a dog still likes dogs. Yeah. So it's almost like the best of both worlds of beer and dogs all coming together.
Yeah. And the other thing that makes the Boozy Mutt special is we have employees called referees, which they have awesome uniforms. I can't wait for you all to like be there in person. But they'll help watch the dog. So ultimately the owner's still responsible, and you know your dog best. So like if they're getting anxious, if they're getting overstimulated, like let's work together to get them to a more stable state and keep them safe and you safe and everyone else safe. But the referees are there to help call that out, as well as like pick up any messes, and both human and dog, and and just like overall keep the environment safe, which is special and different than other bars in Philadelphia, to be honest.
Yeah. So let's take it through. Someone is entering your bar. What does it look like walking in? What's the process of getting into the bar? Mm-hmm. And then like what's kind of available inside as far as seating options, indoor, outdoor, like what's going on?
Oh, that's okay. So good question. So when you walk in, we'll have our merch store, or swag store, if you will. Dog toys, Boozy Mutt gear. We're trying really hard to partner with local vendors. So there's a coffee brand called Quirky Kid that she lives in the Brewery Town community, and we're excited to sell some of their coffee. We have St. Rocco's Treats that's also sponsoring our treats. When you walk in, your dog will get a treat, but also you can buy their treats. So that's really special. And when you do approach, you actually will be approached by our concierge. So all the dogs that come into the Boozy Mutt have to be members. You have to register online before coming, because you have to upload your dog's vaccinations from your vet to our membership portal.
Same thing as like going to a doggy daycare, something like that. So everyone that has a dog is used to this.
Exactly.
Not as guests, I guess. So I guess as a guest, you can just kind of walk through.
Yes. Yep, you're right. So guests don't have to like kind of worry about this process. That's a good call out. But the dogs at least have to be the member. And the reason for that is, one, we want all the dogs to actually be vaccinated and to be up to date on vaccinations. There actually is a very serious like respiratory illness for dogs going around right now, and we want to make sure that we're protecting against that to the best of our ability. And so that's how we're doing that. It also is requiring that you kind of certify that your dog is non-aggressive, just again to like keep everyone safe. And so when you do walk in, you'll meet the concierge. They'll make sure that your dog is registered, and you'll actually walk through double gates. And for those that go to a dog park, this is really familiar, because a double gate just prevents a dog from accidentally escaping, or not having time to take them off leash. Because once you cross over that second gate, your dog has to be off leash the entire time to prevent like leash aggression or just like over I guess too much anxiety from being on the leash and being around other dogs.
You don't want your dog on a leash here, though. That's like going to Chuck E. Cheese and like putting your kid on a leash.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, why would you go to a dog
Why
park?
would you do that?
Yeah.
I feel, how much have you learned about dogs in the last year, 2 years since this whole thing has started?
So much. Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because one of my goals is to offer like educational sessions with some of like the dog trainers. So we worked very closely with It Takes Two dog training and all canines to work through like our referee handbook and all of those things. Because there's so much to learn, and like even as a dog owner myself, I didn't realize how much I didn't know about my dog and like how I was actually doing things that maybe I should have done other things to like help his anxiety and to make him a better dog. And so it's been really fun, really, really fun.
Yeah, no, I'm sure there's so much there, and just so much different like learnings that come along the way, and that's part of the journey. So
I mean, we talking about like learning stuff about dogs. Like, how about learning how to run a restaurant, or learning how to build out a restaurant, or build a brand? It's like so many different things kind of all happening at once that you have never done before.
Yes.
And kind of taking them all on at once, and putting your business, public image, reputation on the line. It's like, it's a lot.
It's been a lot, and Sam and I are both still working our full-time jobs, and so this is really like our passion project on the side. So like,
I mean, Sam's not here because he's working right now. It's 8:00 on a Tuesday night
exactly.
or Monday night.
He wanted to come, but it's been wild. But to answer what else you'll see when you walk in is we also partnered with the factory workers to make custom tables for us because we wanted an indoor-outdoor feel. So when you do walk in, there's standing room areas. We do have seating on a second floor as well as a potty room that you can rent out for doggy birthday parties. We're also like very open to doing like rehearsal dinners if you wanted to do that and have your dog part of like your wedding day in some special way, corporate events. Like, we've really built the space to be flexible to like all of those things. The only really big unique thing is in order to order food and drink, we have ordering windows that kind of similar to Rita's water ice. I always call it Rita's ice cream because I'm from Wisconsin originally. Rita's water ice, where you have to order through. And the reason for that is just to like prevent any, contamination from the dogs. We worked very closely with the health department.
Yeah, but that's not dissimilar to a lot of restaurants. Like, there's a lot of cheesesteak places or like quick service places all over the city. Yeah, and a lot of breweries are even doing that now where you just pass it through, and it's just like, so it doesn't feel like some weird concept that you don't have to figure out how to do it. It's very natural.
Correct.
Walking in and then ordering there.
We tried at least. Like, we worked, it's been now going on like over 3 years of working on this, so I feel like we've tried to think of everything. I'm sure we'll learn a lot once we open.
Definitely. But I guess you walk in, kind of got the rubberized flooring.
Yeah.
And then turf field outside with little Adirondack chairs and a fire hydrant out there.
Yes, which we found on the streets of Philly.
Yes.
Philly, don't take that back, please.
And then you guys have a dog washing station as well upstairs?
Yep, downstairs self-serve dog wash. So you can buy packages of that to wash your dog there versus like in your apartment, which can be like a complete nightmare from experience.
And now you slap a buzz on before you do it.
Exactly, and make it even more fun. And
Yeah.
the pictures that we put up around now, like we just hung those this week, are pretty cute.
Nice.
To say, so
nice.
Yeah, it's been good.
So I guess you guys are food, like full kitchen and everything.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about your menu or what people can expect food wise?
Definitely. We did bring on a new chef recently. Unfortunately, we had to part ways with our original chef due to some medical issues, which he's doing better, so that's really exciting. Our new chef did do some time in Penn State, so it's nice to also have some more of the Pennsylvania blood running through the business. Us. Yeah, exactly. It really is. Once you're in, you're in. But we're trying to do upscale bar food is kind of like what I'm saying, gastropub style. So we wanted to be vegetable forward, not only to cater to different dietary needs, but also our whole kind of motto behind our food is we want you to feel good after you eat it, because I think we've all been to that place where something sounds really good, you eat it, and then when you're done, you're like, why did I just do that to myself?
It's almost every day at this point. Especially
after Thanksgiving, right?
Oh my gosh.
And so that's kind of what we've been thinking about. So we have a couple different salads, everything from like our spin on a Caesar salad to like what we're calling like a green doggess, like goddess dressed like salad. There are definitely dog puns throughout the entire place, so just keep getting ready for that.
Yeah, I have a list of beer names in my phone. I'm sure you just have dog puns in all your
oh,
notes.
100%, 100%. And they come to me at the weirdest times. But we have then small plates for sharing. So a couple of my favorites are we have like Asian short ribs. Cheese curds are definitely my favorite, again, from Wisconsin. So I had to like represent a little. A small salmon dish plate, and we have this really amazing like we're calling it like I think like the local farmer's table, which is grilled vegetables with like some different sauces and sides and some fresh fruit, so just to kind of like pick at as you're hanging out with your dog, and then also handhelds. So
definitely a healthier option. It's not like people are going to be coming here all the time and like eating greasy food and stuff that you only go to at like a sports bar. Like this is really like you can go there during the week and kind of treat it as like your dinner.
Yep, almost. Exactly. And like even like the sandwiches, for example, like we're going to do a Reuben, but we're also going to have like a falafel wrap and of course like a smash mutt burger, as we're calling it, of some capacity. And then local, we'll probably do weekly specials, I think, is our goal. So it should be really fun.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Be good.
Yeah.
And then what about drinks wise? It is a bar. What do you guys?
I know. So we're going to have 12 beers on tap all times, but we're also doing cocktails on tap. And the reason is like when thinking about our business model, what we really cared about was quality and speed. So how can we get you the best product as fast as possible, especially given like you're running around with your dog and or like meeting other dogs. So outside of the 12 beers, we'll also have at least opening with 6 to 8 cocktails that our general manager is also spearheading. Travis is from California. He's amazing. He also is very big into beer. Knows the people from Carbon Copy.
I think he used to work at Second District, right? And then he knows the Carbon Copy guys from California, so very small world.
Yep. And he's amazing. Like we've gotten to taste test a couple of our cocktails. We're going to have an espresso martini with dripped coffee called the Zoomies. We're going to have a margarita that you can have either spicy or non-spicy called, the Barcarita, which that one's pretty straightforward. We're also going to do like our twist on a Cube Libre, which we're calling Rum Unleashed. And we're even doing like a sparkling spiked iced tea, which we still haven't named yet, but we're getting there. So
that'd be good. It's I guess like kind of as an untraditional bar, it kind of makes sense to just do that anyway. Because like if you're not going to be sitting at the bar talking to the bartender, like you want your drink as fast as possible anyway.
Yeah, and we'll still have the option to like it just will be a little bit slower.
For
service.
Sure,
so like
for
whatever
sure. So you have everything.
About.
You have like the batch option, and anything else you can want.
Exactly.
As well.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's been fun to kind of think about.
Where did you like start planning in your priorities when things came up? Like, was it bar? Was it dog like learnings? Was it food options? Like, how does that go? I couldn't imagine where you start versus where you go to.
Yeah. So you mean like in terms of just like making planning. Our business model?
Yeah.
It kind of all started with like us going out to eat and like realizing what we valued. And then the hardest shift honestly is then going like, okay, just because I like this, like what do actually all of our consumers want and like? And that process is, I think, a little bit harder because you have to crowdsource and just take time to gather the right information. We started very focused on the dogs. And what we've quickly learned is dogs are definitely like the heart and the foundation of our business, but unfortunately, I wish dogs had wallets because then we would be able to like make a totally different business model. But in some capacity, we need to make sure like we can continue our business. And
the dogs are gonna like it either way. You can put a dog in a dog park; it doesn't matter. They're gonna have fun. But to make the rest of it, enjoyable for everybody, that's like kind of what separates it from just being a dog park that serves food and alcohol to actually a dog bar that you can sustain and go to regularly, not just for opening and everything. So
exactly. And also what I love about Philly the most is the food scene, and so there is just this like expectation of good food and good drinks in the city. And so like we want to fit into that because we are ultimately a Philly business. And so that's kind of then where the priority started shifting, is like, how do we have really kick-ass food and drinks while also allowing you to bring your dog and your friends and just having this like really great experience. And that was kind of then the next thing was, how do we make the best experience for every person that walks in our door? And we've been taking that approach with the staff we're hiring, with how we're planning to train them, like how we're thinking about like bonus models and things like that. Is just like, how can we keep our staff happy? Because if they're happy, then they'll treat our customers well. And if our customers are happy, ultimately our business will do well.
And I've seen, this is where it goes from like, I've been intimately like kind of seen this process of you guys building this out. And like, so I've seen behind the scenes, of a lot of you guys building like out, not just the bar itself, which is a whole monster into itself, but like then the business, and then figuring out the employees and steps to service. And I mean, your employee handbook is 46 pages long. Like there's always issues in kind of the food and beverage space and, restaurant space as far as, human resources, and just like treating employees like actual employees, not just like bringing these people in to serve drinks and just like a party environment. Like you guys are setting up kind of the culture right away, be like, this is a job, like we're here and it's just going to be a better experience for everyone from the start, as opposed to, figuring it out as you go along.
Thank you. That means a lot, because that's one thing that like I know I take very seriously, like in any job, is like the way you treat people is ultimately like you get what you give, is like at least what I believe. And so we're trying to keep that in mind.
For sure. And I think, part of, you guys are my friends. I want to have you guys on the podcast, promote the business. But like part of this is like, you guys aren't even open yet. You guys are opening up a couple weeks. And like, I've seen the level of detail that all of this is happening. Like you guys are first time restaurant people. So there's a level of, some people might have some doubts as far as whether you guys understand how that works. And it's every step of the process, you guys keep kind of blowing it out of the water. So this is kind of like, my chance to come up here and just get to say, I told you so to all these people that I'm sure you guys will get to do too, before, you guys open. And then we'll, I guess, have you or Sam on in a couple months to kind of bring it back and be like, look, all this stuff we knew it was going to happen. You guys set yourself up for success, and look what it kind of opened up as. Like started off, out of the gate, like fresh and new, and like kind of completely built out already. Like you guys are learning on the go, but like making the right decisions as you're learning, which is very cool.
Thank you. And like one thing I did learn is it's really who you surround yourself with. Like exactly. Like we knew from the beginning, we hired a consultant. We unfortunately had to transition to a new consultant, but it was all for good reason. Like, and having someone that like knows the industry that we can bounce ideas off of has been incredibly helpful. Our PR representative, Peter Breslow, is amazing, like also serves as a consultant to us. Angie Vendetti is who we're working with from like a consulting piece. But then also just like even other like restaurant friends, like the like Randall, the owner of Otto's and U-Bar, has been like such a great mentor. And the guys at Liberty Grounds,
first time restaurant people, first time entrepreneurs, and
they're so smart.
They're so smart. They're kind of doing the same, not like the same business, but it was a kind of a concept type bar that was new to the area. So, I've met them now through you guys, and it's kind of seeing you guys just 2 years behind where they're at, and they're ultra successful now. They're just doubled their footprint. Yeah,
they're opening like in a couple weeks too. Their expansion. And so like just having people like that like believe in us and hear our like problems and trying to help us solve them is just so important, not only for like my mental sanity and Sam's mental sanity, but like just making the right decisions in the moment.
Yeah, and you guys, so where are you guys located in the city? Fairmount, Brewery Town, like what would you call it? What's the address?
It's 2639 Poplar Street. Okay. So I think we're like just on the border of literally on the border of Fairmount and Brewery Town. I think we're technically Fairmount by like one block. Yeah. But we kind of, identify as both. Yeah. And have like little shout outs on our menu to both of them as well.
Nice.
And it's definitely a growing area. There's like other small businesses opening up there soon too, like other great restaurants. Like I'm really excited to try Baby's. It's a Filipino place nearby.
Nice.
So it's fun.
Yeah, we talked about, kind of everybody in the brewing industry talks about like year of the lager. In the last 5 years has been year of the lager. And I feel like the same thing people talk about Brewery Town, like, oh, Brewery Town's coming up.
Yeah.
It really truly feels like Brewery Town's coming up now. It's like there's so many hot new restaurants coming up. It's very walkable. It feels very safe. It's almost like the newer Fish Town now. And like, I know people keep saying that, but it really, truly, especially where you're at, kind of right on that street, feels like that.
And there's still parking available, so
yes,
that's always
perfect.
like a good thing to see. I know.
Yeah, especially in Philly.
So yeah, it's been a wild ride, but we are looking forward to opening finally. It's been, again, 3 years.
Nice. So, we've talked about kind of building out the business, the restaurant, but like with all these things, there's so many different things that go into it. So there's the branding now. So you are now the graphic designer / social media coordinator. Like, that's not something that you've ever done before.
No, and honestly, social media is, I mean, Evan, you can probably relate to this. It is it's so hard too. Like, it takes so much time, and I at least try to be like really thoughtful about like what I'm putting out there, and representing, like, building a voice for your brand is like, it's very hard and takes time to think through it all.
It's trying to like building like enough like quality content, but then also like you can't just have quality content like once every 3 weeks. It's got to be this constant feed of quality content at this point.
It needs to be beyond consistent in order to just like feed what the algorithm wants. But then the other thing that something you have to look at, you look at social media from a very biased lens whenever you're putting out something on your brand. Whoever's looking at that doesn't see that.
Yeah.
They see something flash by in 5-10 seconds, and that's all they see. Yeah, so even if you do post a lot or you repeat what you're saying, like that's part of it. But you might look at that and be like, am I saying too much? Am I not saying enough? Like,
so easy to overthink.
Yeah, it's so easy to question and just overthink really anything from a social media lens.
Yes, I totally agree. And I will say Canva is like a saving grace. Like, every small business owner should invest in Canva. It is a little expensive at first, but like, it's made my life so much easier, and looks far more professional, and even just like has given me ideas about like how to market and brand and design different things. And so yeah, that's actually how we design most of our merch, even, is like me doing like a little Canva mock-up, and then we're working with like Brewery Branding Co. for all of our merch and stuff, who've been phenomenal, but it's a long process to design some of that stuff.
Yes, I mean, it's high quality merch. Like now, all the clothing I own is either whatever organization I'm attached to. So, Penn State, it was like everything was Penn State. And then like whatever brewery I'm working for, that's 90% of my clothing is just free clothing from that brand. And I'm looking for you guys opening up so I can switch that up a little bit. Yeah.
You know where it all is. It's all in our basement right now.
Yeah, exactly. Expand my closet. Yeah, but the branding stuff, is that something that you guys built, or like, I mean, it is a very cool brand. It looks like, yeah, I mean, you can see it now.
Thanks.
But it looks like something that, could be very repeatable, and it's like the brand sticks out. When I wear t-shirts out, like, people notice it, and it's like it's differentiated itself from kind of other bars and restaurants in the city.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I mean, our goal is ultimately to scale in some capacity. Like, we definitely want to keep like your neighborhood bar that you bring your dog feeling, but we wanted to create a brand that could be scalable in some capacity. And the actual branding came from our original consultant that we worked with out of New York City, and we wanted something playful and easy to just like replicate and like do things with. So like, you can't expect that the different holidays the dog might be holding instead of beers, like something else. Like, we've already designed one for like a dog mom shirt that the dog's holding wine glasses, and it just kind of makes it fun, playful. It's on brand and easily like repeatable in some capacity.
And the whole dog angle to it is like, it's so easy. Like, everyone takes pictures of their dog. Like, when you guys are open, you guys don't have too much content. It's like everyone is going to go there and be taking pictures. Besides the fact that the space looks great, so people want to take that. Like, everyone is going to take pictures of the dog there. You can reshare dog pictures. Everyone loves, the attention that their dog gets.
I know. I am excited this weekend. I get to put up our Instagram wall.
Nice.
So I'm very excited about that. Yeah. Think neon sign. It should be good. But,
yeah, it'll be like going to the club with your dog.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we can't do music, but I don't know how much. We do want to have live music at some point. So if there's any like acoustic guitar players, singers that like want to come and jam out in our yard a little bit, I think that would be really fun.
Located in Malvern, Pennsylvania, at 53 Ton Road, Locust Lane Craft Brewery keeps it simple yet flavorful, crafting beers that are traditional and crave-worthy. Bring your friends and family to enjoy their outdoor deck, Sunday brunch, and slow-roasted meats in Foster Ave, Carberry. You can find them on Instagram at Locust Lane CB. Once again, that's at Locust Lane CB. And if you're not in Chester County, don't worry. They ship their beer statewide, so head to locustlanecraftbrewery.com for more info. I guess you guys have a timeline now.
As of today.
Okay, so I think that this will maybe come out right before probably opening, which is great timing. We did not plan this to be this tight timing wise, but like, can you talk about kind of the opening and like what that'll look like?
Yeah. So right now on November 27th is when we're recording this. So this could change. We did just pass our building inspection today, which is like huge. And we should do our first friends and family on November 8th. And we're going to have a couple more just because we have so many like operational things to consider than a standard restaurant. So we're taking that very seriously. And with our grand opening will be December 13th.
Cool.
So
very
right before
soon.
the holidays. Yeah.
Yeah. And that restaurant Sin opened up in Northern Liberties and it got so much attention. Like maybe not the best attention, some of it, but it's really, you know, with the economy right now, like there's not really a lot of restaurants and bars opening, so it got a ton of attention. It did. You guys are opening up in December, and you guys are already kind of so hot. Everything that either you guys post or you know William Penn or Word the Wise or any of these websites like reshares from you guys gets like 10 times the amount of like social media interaction of any other kind of opening.
Thank you.
So it will be, you know, kind of a very exciting opening because, you know, not just the fact that there's nothing else opening, but people are like already super interested in this and they haven't even been there yet.
Thank you. Yeah, our goal was to have 4,000 Instagram followers before we opened, and we already have passed that. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm hoping that we can at least break 10,000 by like the end of the year.
I don't think that you're gonna have any trouble getting Instagram followers once you guys are open with the dog pictures.
I hope so. And our food looks pretty awesome too. So hopefully that some food porn kind of piques people's interest.
Yeah. But. So I mean, you guys do have a lot of attention already. Mm-hmm. You guys do have a publicist, but I guess again, like I've seen you and Sam kind of work. Like what. You guys have been out at, you know, street festivals. You guys are going around to dog parks. You guys have been on the news. The mayor just came by the other day.
He did.
It's really like you guys are already kind of operating as like a open business, and like you guys aren't even open yet. So this is.
Thank you.
You know, like I want to have you guys on to kind of show people, like, you know, this isn't just like some two people that want to open up some concept bar. Like you guys have been putting in the work. You guys have done everything right, and it's like you guys are going out of your way, and you know, there's a reason why you guys are already getting all this attention because you guys have made it happen.
Thank you. Yeah, we've been really trying to think of every single detail because we do believe like that's what's again like going to make us successful is like thinking of those small details and just taking our time at that. And unfortunately, we've had like the gift of time because we wish we were open a little bit earlier, but you know, taking that as like a gift again and just trying to like put our name out there. Word of mouth is so powerful and important, and so we're trying to leverage that to the best of our ability. Yeah,
I mean, first time restaurant owners, first time opening up a bar, like, you know, the timeline was always going to be, even normal people that are like full-time restaurateurs would always get stretched out. And like, I mean, your guys' timeline was a little push, but like nothing that was crazy. I mean, you guys are still opening up pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, and now you guys have the playbook, you know, so you talk about wanting to expand. Like now at this point, like, you know, the next opening should be very smooth as well.
Yeah, I hope so. That's definitely the plan. I don't know where it's going to be yet. Let's
start on the first one.
Yeah, I don't know if I can take on anymore, but yeah, it's been good. So
nice. What's been the most like kind of surprising thing so far? I mean, you guys, you know, going into, you know, when you decided that like, hey, we're gonna do this. You know, we're getting a loan, whatever. We're gonna figure out how to actually do this. What's something that you didn't think? Well, you talked on social media. Was it like what has been like kind of the most eye-opening thing? Like, oh, I didn't realize that like this process or this project was going to involve this much work in this.
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Or whatever like the biggest learning hurdle has been.
I think like I think there's a couple ways to answer that.
Yeah.
I think one thing that's been surprising is, like, I knew Sam and I were resilient, but like, I'm just like really proud of us for like, we've hit a lot of road bumps and speed bumps, and just mentally like working through that and dealing with it. And that's just been like a big learning thing, even just for like our relationship. Because on top of this, like, not only are we opening a business, but we're also
just got married 2 years
trying
ago.
to stay happily married and keep our friends and like be good, everything else in life. And so that's hard. But I would say, like, just from like the process standpoint, I think the biggest learning experience has been, I think, like, just trusting the process overall. And like, that sounds kind of corny to say, but there's like so many moving elements, and there's so many things that, as prepared as you are, you can't predict exactly what the outcome is going to be. And so just kind of like keeping your eye on the prize and like taking it day by day is so much harder said than done.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about like all the hurdles, and I'm sure when you guys were first starting to put the business plan together and, you know, looking at locations, like, someone would tell you no, and then it probably took you like 5-6 days to kind of digest that and figure out like another plan of attack. And now that you guys are getting ready for opening, it's like probably every 20 minutes there's a hurdle that you have to just take on the chin and just blast through. So it's almost like a mindset thing. Like, now you are in this entrepreneurial mindset, and like now you're probably like not a different person, but like you kind of like have this different way of looking at things or looking at problems now.
Yeah, and like, if I could give any entrepreneur like one big piece of advice, it would be kind of just have a yes mentality. Like, say yes to going to meet someone new. Say yes to going to like see another location, because you don't know where that's going to take you.
I mean, it adds on. It's like you meet one person, you go to an event, or you say yes to a press release, and then someone sees you from that press release. It just opens up the door to something else.
Exactly. Like, we wouldn't have been able to have some of the conversations we had with the city as early as we did if we didn't go see like one location that ended up not working out for us, but like we met someone there that helped us. And like, that's how we were able to figure out like our design and flow the way that we did. And so yeah, just have a yes mentality, and you never know where it will take you.
We haven't talked about this. It's the old North Star Bar. So I think like some of the listeners in Philadelphia, they'll recognize the old North Star Bar, kind of like the Johnny Brenda's of Brewery Town. So it's like kind of a historic location that, you know, was not open for 6-7 years. Now you guys have kind of taken it over and kind of put this, you know, hopefully thriving business in there.
Yeah, and when we took it over, it was like just nothing. Like, it was nothing at that point. It does sound like there were a lot of really fun times at the North Star Bar back in the day, and like, I hope that we can recreate like some memories like that. I mean, I did hear the Jonas Brothers played there, and I don't think we'll ever get the Jonas Brothers to play. But if the Jonas Brothers are listening and want to come check out the Boozy Mutt,
they're listening.
I'm sure the Jonas Brothers have dogs.
I hope that'd be amazing. Yeah, so we hope we can be like another neighborhood bar that people like to go to and love to go to be honest. That's the goal. So.
Yeah, that's so exciting. My question, like, how long did it take you and Sam to get into the entrepreneurial like mentality? Like, just from my being, I know it took me a good probably 6 months after joining or going through my endeavor to really just be ready to tackle and like see things in a different light. How fast did that like come to you guys?
That's a good question, and like, some of it's a little blurry now.
Sure.
I think it came a little faster for Sam than me, just like given like other things going on in like our personal lives as well. But probably honestly, it probably was almost like a year and a half, because I feel like it didn't really feel real until we found a location. Because we kind of kept like not finding a location. And if we couldn't find a location, it never was going to be real. So I would still say we like were thinking like entrepreneurs before that, but it just felt still like a dream. And then like once we signed our lease, it was like, okay,
you're locked in.
This is real.
And then also, you know, when the Michael Klein interview came out, like, you guys were almost public at that point, but it became this thing like every single person I talked to was asking me about it. You know, every single person at work was talking about it. Like, your followers like doubled in like 3 days, and like it became like, you know, telling the world like, you know, this is what we're doing. You know.
Yeah, I think that was like a really special moment, and that it did make it feel real then. And to everyone that's been following us since then, like, thank you for being so patient, because I know that it's killing you guys. It's also killing us, like, so badly on the inside. But that was a really special
nobody's
moment.
upset. Like, they don't get to go to the bar, but you have great dog pictures and everything. It's still, like, even if you're not going to the bar, it's a great follow.
Yes, and I love when people send me their dog pictures. That's what I try to do Monday, every single Monday.
Even from the beginning, like, just before meeting you guys, you were doing these collabs in the city and stuff like that just all over.
Yeah, what was it, Milk John that you guys did?
Yeah, we did something with Milk John where we did, like, the puppy bowl, and you got free pup cups. Who also, like, Amy's an amazing business owner herself. Like, they're thriving too. And so it's fun to, like, learn and see how these other small businesses are growing and, like, just thriving in their neighborhoods.
And kind of, like, creating the culture from the beginning, like, you are a part of the community.
Yes.
And, you know, like, Philadelphia is very neighborhood community centric, and the fact that you guys have kind of embraced that, like, you guys know all these business owners in Breezetown, and you guys know all the, you know, business associations there, like all kind of everything that kind of pulls together that's behind the scenes that nobody else kind of sees. And you guys are kind of established, like, hey, we are proud to be at this location. We're proud to be a part of Breezetown and Fairmount. And, you know, we want to be a part of kind of rising up that whole neighborhood. Yeah,
no, and honestly, like, I always tried to shop local before. Like, after going through this experience, like, 100% try to support my local businesses, because it is a feat. Like, it's a lot of work. And it's amazing, like, to everyone that's open to small business, like, you should be really proud of yourself for even just, like, getting as far as you got, whatever that means to you.
Yeah, and you're keeping the money in the neighborhood. So, you know, like, everybody wins. So, do you... I guess you don't want to talk on the tap list yet? No.
We have a couple things on the tap list.
Yeah, what can we talk about? I know, because you talk about community-centric. Like, you guys do have some local beer there.
Yeah, so the plan is to have, like, I think at least 8 of our taps local and rotating. And we actually, even for, like, party events, can have, like, a custom tap line if that's something of interest, whoever's, like, renting out the space. We'll definitely have Lost Time, so we're excited to be, like, partnering with them, and they've just been so supportive from the beginning, and I know that's, like, kind of how we met you guys originally too.
They're also local guys, right? Like,
and they distribute through Stone. It's like the more people we talk to, we, like, realize, like,
we're all connected.
You know, huge industry, but, like, when it comes down to it, it's like it's such a small world. Like, everybody kind of works together.
And let's see, we will have some, like, classics on there, like Bud Light and whatnot, just to kind of.
You need that. It's a normal bar. It's not a craft brewery. Like, people are going to want to come in and treat it like a normal sports bar sometimes. So you have to have that.
And we will have draft wine. Most of that will be sourced from California, just, like, given some of the options. But, again, like, that'll be somewhat rotating. I think that's the only local one solidified right now. So if there are other local breweries that are interested, we definitely would love to talk to them.
We might know a few.
Yeah. Just a couple.
How does that process work? It's like, you guys have these beers. We learned a little bit about beer distributors last time. So you guys have had, like, Penn and Riglio and kind of Stone reach out to you guys. And, like, you know, that's kind of probably, like, another thing. Like, you know, you aren't used to having food vendors and alcohol vendors reach out to you. Now you go over to your house and, like, your fridge looks like our fridge. It's just, like, free drinks in there, like, all over the place, like samples.
It is actually kind of insane, and it's really awesome. But no, like, it was a unique experience, like, especially in the beginning. Like, I think people started coming over to our house because we couldn't yet, like, it wasn't safe yet to go to, like, the construction site. Even, like, as of last winter. So we're getting, like, all these people, like, coming to our house, giving us free beer and wine. And they wanted to set up meetings at, like, 9 a.m. And Sam and I have corporate jobs. And we're like, we can't be tasting, like, bourbon and, like,
Sam
all
did,
this
like,
stuff.
a tequila tasting one day on, like, a Tuesday. I was like, he's already had himself a day.
Oh, my God, yeah. That was funny, actually. Came home kind of buzzed. Yeah, we just did our wine tasting last week, like, at 2 p.m., and luckily I had the rest of the day off of my other job.
Nice.
Yeah, it was crazy, but that's been a fun experience to learn, and yeah, they work hard, and there's a lot of options. Like, the options are actually kind of overwhelming, and again, like, going back to, like, what's the consumer actually want, and
it's probably every single person that comes to you, like, I definitely want you, and then, but it's like, then you take a step back and, like, whoa, we have, like, 40 people that I want, then you only have 12 spots. So now you have to then take a second look at everything. Like, what do I actually want? What do the consumers actually want?
Exactly. And, like, also, like, how fast we want to like rotate through some of them and things like that. So that's
and I'm sure a lot of that will be, you know, you guys have a plan now. You know, Travis, you know, definitely has a ton of experience doing that. But then, like, you know, this is the first Boozy Mutt, so I think a lot of stuff will kind of be customer dependent because, you know, it's not just a new restaurant that's opening. For the people in Philadelphia, this is kind of a new type of bar. So it's almost like the consumers don't know how to treat the bar as well.
Yeah, we still get like a bunch of questions about that. But the one thing that's been really amazing is there's people that are traveling all the way from like Allentown and out and from the suburbs that are like planning to come and visit us, and that's why we were trying to be like fairly flexible with our hours of operation. So we're going to be open from 11:30 to 10 p.m. during the week, and then Fridays will be open until 11 p.m. and then Saturdays and Sundays we'll do brunch from like I believe it's like 10 to 2, but then we'll be open till 11 p.m. on Saturday, and then brunch again on Sunday, opening at 10, closing at 10 p.m. as well.
Cool. There's brewery hours.
Yeah, basically. Yes, very similar.
Nice.
But
what's been the most like gratifying part of this for you guys?
Is it still too early for that?
Yeah,
is life moving like 1,000 miles an hour? I mean, I'm sure every day. It's like even Nick said like he has like every single day is like super high and super low, and it's like it's probably like every single day is like you're reaching these, you know, like speed bumps, but then also like it's probably gratifying as well. Like, you know, you are getting feedback already, and then you guys aren't open, but like online, you guys are getting positive reviews. You guys are getting newspaper articles written about you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been really fun. I would say like the most gratifying thing so far, and I think this will be the same, just maybe like look different, is like when people come to like our pop-up events, as we call them, or like whatnot, and it's like their friends, they're meeting up and hanging out and talking to us, and it's just like you're getting to know new people and they're all having fun themselves. Like just kind of like watching that experience and like seeing the environment we're already creating is pretty special. And so I'm really excited to see what we create when we're actually like have our brick and mortar open and we can do that every single day. I think that's probably like the most gratifying because it's like our dreams actually coming to life and like we're making people happy, and that's what we wanted to do.
I think one of the coolest things could be you're going to have a couple or a few couples probably meet each other there, and you'll get like a wedding story.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, you had like, it's a dog space.
Yeah.
Like, that is like the most cliche how to meet like a couple.
It sounds like a rom-com, like the dogs are playing at the bar.
Oh my God, could you imagine? Like, what if there's a movie based after that someday? But that would be awesome. That's the goal. That's the goal. So who wants to get married at the Boozy Mutt that met at the Boozy Mutt? We'll see what happens.
Perfect.
Yeah, free. It's a good goal. Free drinks forever.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Forever. We'll see.
Forever. Yeah.
But.
Yeah. So I guess I don't know. Do you have anything else you kind of want to talk about for the opening? I mean, this is almost like an odd thing because you guys aren't open. So I wanted to kind of have you on to like talk about, you know, the behind the scenes opening of the restaurant that people don't like kind of understand. Like a lot of people work at restaurants. There's not many people that have opened restaurants before. So this is like kind of a unique perspective of like a first time entrepreneur opening up a restaurant. Like what's your perspective on it?
Yeah.
But like what do you
fair.
Like what do you see like I know, you know, your expectations versus like how you think it'll operate, like how you will treat the business, you know, like what do you see your life kind of being like once it's open?
Really crazy.
Yeah.
I fully plan to keep my full-time job. I really love my full-time job and see this as like a passion project. I don't know. I
mean, that's part of the reason we brought Travis on. Like Travis is so good that he's able to handle this.
100%. Like he's amazing, and that was the goal. Our chef Alex Osborne's also like amazing. And so we needed like two really strong leaders there. Between Travis and Alex, and I would say like we'll see what life looks like. Like I honestly I don't know. Kind of like right now, taking it day by day.
I mean, you talk about the hurdles. It's like this entrepreneurial mindset. Like you're not looking at like you will have a big picture, but every single day you're taking it as its own kind of adventure.
Yeah, and like I would say like also the hardest thing right now too is hiring people. Like we have had a lot of people interested, which has been great. It'd be awesome to find like even more people that want to work in with us and in this space and like see the vision. But also like when you're opening a restaurant, like we literally just decided on the opening timeline I shared with you guys, like at 5:45 tonight. And so like it's hard to be like asking people to come work for you and like not being able to give them like a solid answer on like when we're actually opening and whatnot. And that's been really hard because not only does it put us in a weird spot, but like it's people's livelihoods we're talking about, and like we take that really seriously. And so that's been challenging. But.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these issues that you're gonna have, it's like these are all gonna iron themselves out once you're open. It's like they're issues now, but once you open them, like kind of people see, and then the potential employees kind of see like what it is, then they'll be like, okay, this is definitely something that I want to get involved in. It's like they're having a hard time conceptualizing it just because it's the first thing in Philadelphia like this.
Yeah, and like I can't like stress it enough. Like we put so much thought into our leadership staff, and like even like working for Travis or Alex is like going to be amazing. Like they're just such good people and like know what they're doing. And ultimately our goal is like if our employees have bigger dreams, like we also then want to share our knowledge and support them and get them to like maybe it's open their own restaurant or their own brewery or their own whatever, and like be there as a support system because we went through it. And I wish that we had more of that when we were doing this, but now we can like pay it forward.
Definitely. So. And I think just, the same thing we were talking about, like the human resources, just like you guys are creating this culture from the beginning, and it's a healthy, culture there. It's not like a party environment, like, but in the end, people think that like they want to go there, and like a lot of restaurant people, they want to have this like kind of like fun, fast lifestyle, but like if you're able to treat it more like a career in the long run, I think a lot of those people are a lot happier and healthier, kind of in the careers that they have. So
thank you. Yeah, that's the plan. So I'm trying to think if there's like anything else I definitely want to.
Like you guys have been doing events. I guess the only event now is just kind of opening and getting ready and kind of.
Yes, we've been doing like a lot of the street fairs and the like those types of like again like pop-up events, but. When we open, we do plan to do like
the ultimate pop-up.
The ultimate pop-up. Not only like doggy birthday parties and things like that, but also like beer tastings paired with like appetizers or like wine tastings of some capacity, or like paint with your dog or like something along those lines. So
yeah, I think there's infinite possibilities. That's like stuff that you haven't even thought about yet. That's just going to be kind of unique to your space because you have this unique space and unique opportunity with dogs and food and beer kind of all coming together.
Exactly. Yeah. So it'll be a potty.
Cool. So I guess you want to shout out any social medias you have, or have any more dog puns you want to put on?
Any more dog puns? I'm honestly like I just got done doing like our menu, so I think I'm like dog punned out, which is shocking. I mean, like I shouted at a lot of people in. Like throughout the conversation.
Well, where can people find you? Like at the Boozy Mutt on social media.
Where can people find us? They can.
And then also people need to check out your website. Your website is incredible. It's like
thank you.
You guys are starting off this business and like so. But you guys kind of skipped like having the shitty website phase. Like you have this incredible website. You need that because again, it's this new concept. People have a lot of questions, and you can find all those answers on your website.
Yeah, so definitely check out our website. We actually made that with my cousin. She started her own business too, so I guess it kind of runs in my family in some capacity, which is theboozymutt.com. Instagram, you can find us at theboozymutt. And also on Facebook, we'd love for you to like our Facebook page as well, which is just facebook.com/theboozymutt. We are going to be starting TikTok, but that's we're going to do like after we open to have like some fun trending videos. So as part of that registration, you are signing a waiver saying you don't mind us taking videos and pictures of your dog. So I don't think
anyone's going to have a problem with that.
We'll make them a star.
Yeah.
But that's the plan.
Cool. Well, again, thank you for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you guys to open. Like I've seen this for the last 3 years, and to have you on here again, I'd show you guys off, and kind of like tell everyone like I've been kind of singing you guys' praises for 3 years, and now I get to finally tell everyone can shove it. So
I can't wait for that too.
No,
yeah,
thank you.
It's really nice having you on. I think this is a good representation of like Philly in the bar space, and just as well for the podcast, like where people can come and learn about like different parts of Philadelphia, the bar culture and the brewery culture, and then the local taps and everything. So like that's exciting.
Thank you. Cool. Thank you. Well, I can't wait to do this again and actually like share what we all did.
Yeah, I'm sure whatever we're talking about now, it's going to be, that was not right, we changed everything.
I know, it's going to be like, that totally didn't work.
Yeah.
Do not do that.
Yeah. Cool. So you can find us, I guess, at the Brewdat Podcast or at Brewdat on all social media platforms. And, I guess this will come out in a couple weeks, and then we'll be back in 2 weeks.
Awesome.
Cool.